Welcome to the Podcast with Purpose.
And welcome back to the Podcast with Purpose. I am your host, Nate Link. Today, I am joined by Chris Saporito, our amazing benefits specialist here at Human Technologies. And November is a special month. It's Open Enrollment Month. And Chris is here to basically give us the rundown on open enrollment, what it means for you, kind of give you a in-depth overview of our benefits. So Chris, first and foremost, welcome. And second, let's get into it. What is open enrollment? What are we doing here?
First of all, thanks for inviting me.
Excellent.
Yes, November is a big month. It's open enrollment time. This is a time for all of our employees, anybody that is eligible. So that means you work at least 30 hours a week, 30 hours to 40 hours. You're eligible for medical, dental, vision, life insurance. I just wanted to take the opportunity to kind of explain what our benefits are, our different health plans, the options that you have. And I can start with that. We'll start with, we have 3 health plan options, medical plans. The first option is a hybrid plan, and that is closed to new entrants. But we do have some employees that still utilize that, so it is a active plan. I'm not going to go into it too much because we don't offer it to other employees. The second option we have, the next 2 options are high deductible plans. First one is for a single person, a deductible of $2,600. For a family or plus one, it would be $5,200 deductible. The other option is for a single person, a $5,500 deductible. For a plus one or family, it's an $11,000 deductible. And what that means is you have insurance, you pay a premium for this high deductible plan, you go to a doctor, and what happens is you're responsible for that first $2,600, which means once you hit that point, everything's covered. But up until that point, you're paying out of pocket for any expenses. The difference being there are preventative services and there are special services. Preventative services like you have an annual exam every year with some blood work, that's covered 100% because it's preventative. But if you go to a doctor for any other reason, a doctor writes you a prescription, you're going to pay for that plan. You're going to pay for that expense until you hit your deductible. Emergency room, urgent care, it's all going to come out of your pocket. So you have to kind of be mindful of how you use your benefit. So the next thing we're going to talk about is high deductibles. Obviously, you're paying out of pocket. That can be kind of daunting.
I imagine.
So what Human Technologies does is they fund an HRA, which is a health reimbursement account. It's going to help you pay for your expenses till you hit that deductible. So if you go to the single plan for the $2,600 deductible, Human Technologies is going to give you $1,300 towards expenses. It's going to get paid out in quarterly amounts throughout the year, and you use that money when you get your invoice from your doctor. Don't forget that all these claims that you put through, you go to see your doctor, it's going to go through UMR, who is our third-party administrator. Mm-hmm. They have negotiated costs and expenses with the physicians and other practices. So let it go through and get approved. And then once your doctor turns around and bills you, that's when you would make your payment. So you have an HRA. Now you get a bill from a doctor and it's for $250. You take that HRA card that we have funded and you pay your bill with it. If you can keep your expenses low, underneath a certain amount of money per quarter, that helps you with what you pay out of pocket. For the $5,500 plan, the single plan, obviously your deductible is $5,500. That's quite a bit of money. Human Technologies will fund $2,500 of that. So quarterly payments, you'll get $625 a quarter, and you use that money to pay your bills before you start reaching into your pocket. Once again, if you can rein in your expenses and keep your money underneath that dollar amount, you might not have to pay anything out of pocket. Obviously, there's a little bit more risk with the higher deductible, but that is kind of evened out in that the premium for that deductible is a little cheaper than the $2,600 deductible.
That sounds great. So, but you're almost saving with the HRA half.
Exactly.
Half on one, half on, and on the premium, near half. So that's amazing. It's great that the company does the HRA and contributes to that. And now you said we get funds quarterly. Is it like a charge card, a debit card type thing? It
is a debit card. It's a MasterCard. It will automatically get loaded onto your card each quarter. You can go on to umr.com, create an account, and you can track how much money you've spent, claims that you've put in, and what your balance is left on your card.
Okay, so there's no reason you shouldn't know what's on there.
Right.
It will magically appear
Correct.
every quarter, and the most important thing is just be sure to save your receipts, correct?
Absolutely. That I can't stress enough.
Okay.
There's IRS rules that when you have an HRA or company-funded debit account, there's only certain expenses you can use that for. And the company is going to ask you to substantiate your receipts, your expenses. So please save your receipts. Myself, personally, I've already been asked 3 times this year alone to provide receipts on how I use my card. So it's become automatic. I get the receipt, I get the proof, I put it in a file in my office because I know they're going to come and ask me for it sometime soon. So I can't stress that enough. Save your receipts.
Okay. So HRA, let's keep it going with 3-letter acronyms. Let's talk about an FSA.
Okay, so what an FSA is, it's kind of like a savings account that you would fund as the employee. The HRA funds come from Human Technologies, and that money in there, if you don't use those funds, they revert back to Human Technologies at the end of the year. A flexible spending account, or FSA, is something that you would fund because maybe you want to hedge your expenses with your deductible. You know you're going to have $1,300 that comes out of pocket, and you're going to have some expenses during the year. You might want to put some money aside to help you pay for that difference that you have to come up with. So you would make an agreement to put aside so much money every payroll, 26 payrolls in the year. Say you wanted to put $1,000 aside. It would be divided into the 26 payrolls. However, being that it's an FSA, that money is available to you day one, the full amount. So if you needed to use it to pay for any expense you have, that money's there for you. Now, one other difference between the HRA and FSA, HRA funds are for medical only. The FSA funds you can use for medical, dental, and vision. Okay. So that money is also put aside pre-tax. So you're saving money on taxes during the year, and it's there for you. The only other thing that I can mention with that is this fund, if it's one of those, make sure you think before you put so much money in there, because if you don't use all your funds, you lose them. There is a rollover for 2023 of $610, which is a little higher than this year. This year, it's only $550 that you can roll over for next year. Next year, it'll be $610. So if you have $1,000 in your FSA and you didn't use it, you're going to lose $400 at the end of the year because you didn't plan correctly. Right. So you have to be very mindful of how much money you put aside.
Yeah. So I know I personally use an FSA every year. I'm a contact wearer. I wear daily contacts. They are beyond expensive. So what I do, I become a mathematician this time of year. I figure out how many I'm going to need, do the math on what they cost, and I put 10% more into an into the FSA. And it's good. So then now I'm not doing these large chunks of money every time I want to buy my contacts. To your point, it's pre-tax dollars. It's available to me at the beginning of the year, spreads out the whole year, and it just works. And I know a lot of people say, well, I could use my credit card. I could do care credit. This is pre-tax dollars there's no interest fee associated with it. So to me, it just makes sense to do it. It's your money. It's pre-taxed. It works. And again, there's that flexibility of if it's taken out throughout the whole year, which isn't this huge hit all at once. So that makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
So I know we have the HRA, which helps Human Technologies, is either putting forward either half or close to half of the premium. Are there any other discounts?
Well, yes, there is. Funny you should ask. And November is the time when we can take advantage of the discounts that we offer.
Okay.
So we have a wellness incentive. In November, you can log on to UMR and take a clinical health risk assessment survey. 20 minutes of your time, you log on, you answer some questions, and submit it. And that is step one of getting a discount.
Okay.
The other step would be to get a biometric screen. Now, this is available either on site here on November 16th, or you can test at a lab. So you would log on to myquestforhealth.com and put in our registration code if you don't already have an account. And you could schedule an appointment. You can go to any Quest lab from November 1st through November 30th to get this blood screen done. Or like I said, you can come here on November 16th, make an appointment, and have the blood screen done here. So the purpose of this blood screen is to see if you meet some goals. So if you do the blood screen and you meet 4 of 7 of the criteria, plus you do your CHRA, you qualify for a discount. The in-range biometrics that they are testing for is your BMI, your body mass index, your blood pressure, your LDL, fasting glucose, cholesterol, triglycerides, say that fast.
3 times.
And your tobacco status. Okay. So if you can hit 4 of those 7, you've done your survey, you qualify for a discount. Now, some people may not hit 4 of 7. Well, they're still not out of the picture yet because they can still qualify for the discount by doing coaching. So I kind of recommend that you do your survey and your screening early in November because the sooner you get your results back, if you don't hit 4 or 7, you can participate in coaching and still qualify for the discount. However, you're not going to get that discount till you complete your coaching. So if you can get it done before January, you could start out the year with discount for the whole year. If you don't complete your coaching until, say, February, your discounted premium doesn't start until February when you've completed your coaching.
Okay.
Just to give you a kind of a example of the discount that you're going to receive, for the $2,600 deductible plan for a single person, the premium is $78.51. You participate in our screen, you take the survey, you hit 4 or 7, that premium drops down to $26.78 per payroll.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's quite a jump.
Yep.
For the 5,500 plan, the premium starts off at $69.23 per payroll. You participate, you get your blood screen, you do your survey, hit 4 or 7, complete your coaching. That premium drops down to $17.50 per payroll. And this is something that's unheard of in the industry. This is the 7th year in a row that our premium rates have remained the same. So we have not had any increase in premiums. Enjoy the same premium for the past 7 years, plus get a discount.
Yeah, that is absolutely. So first and foremost, so now we have HRA, almost half of that premium is there. Now the premium monthly is being dropped significantly.
Yep.
But let's look at the flip side of this. By getting these 4 milestones in check or having them or making sure, benchmark, so to speak, this is all about you and being healthy as well. So now you're going to be financially sound, but you may find things you don't even know are wrong with you just by doing this small thing. It's your basic blood panel, correct?
Correct. It is quite in depth that this panel goes through, and you'll get quite a good reading on your blood levels. But that's the purpose of it. We want our employees to be healthy. Yeah. And this has, in the past, some of our employees have done this and found that they are just in time to prevent something from turning chronic. Yeah. So you can be treated for something and hopefully we'll get it in check before it turns into a situation that, you have a chronic condition.
Yeah. And to me, that's worth more than any savings on a health plan. A lot of folks here may take the bus to work, may not have transportation, or I know if I kind of wake up and if I had like a little skin rash or I wasn't feeling that well, I think to myself, I got to get to the doctor. I got to call, I got to make an appointment. I got to get over there somehow. I got to take time off work. Or again, if I don't have transportation, I can't even get there. Are there ways to work around that?
Well, yes, we do offer something. This is new with technologies. It's called telemedicine. Our carrier is Teladoc. They partner with, once again, UMR. And what that means is you can have an appointment with a physician over your phone. If you have a smartphone, it can be a video chat with the doctor, or if not, it's just a regular phone call. But say you have a rash, you have a sinus infection, you're just not feeling good. Instead of going to urgent care or the ER, which you shouldn't be unless it's an emergency, you can have an appointment with the doctor. You can't get your physician is not available. So you have a video chat with this doctor. He looks at you. He can diagnose and prescribe medication for you, send it to your pharmacy. And this all comes in at the beautiful price of $49 for the visit. So if you're mindful, you have a high deductible, you're mindful of how you're spending your money.
Of course.
This visit right here with the physician's $49. If you went to the urgent care, you're going to probably pay between $150 and $250 for a visit. If you go to the ER, just bank on thousands. So ER is for emergency situations only, but you're paying out of pocket until you hit your deductible. So you've got to be mindful how you spend your money. $49 versus $250 versus thousands, do the math. And like I said, he can prescribe. So you can just, go to your pharmacy, pick up your prescription, and everything's good. We do have employees that have used this, and they've all had positive experiences. The first time you sign up, you would get 100 reward points for our wellness program, which kind of ties into this. It's a whole nother podcast. But if you sign up, you can get 100 wellness points. And if you use it, you can get 500 wellness points for the year.
Yeah. So what does that translate into dollars for wellness points?
Well, for wellness, if you accumulate 1,000 points for the year, Human Technologies will give you $50.
Okay. So you're that close. Yeah. You're that much closer. Yep. Right. Let me ask you this. I have a problem with my elbow. You don't go to your normal doctor. It's something in my joint. I don't know who to go to. From what I understand, we have a program that basically will help you look for a specialist that's in our network and accepts our insurance. Can you tell me about that?
Absolutely. It's called Alight. And they are a healthcare concierge.
Sounds fancy.
Yes, it does. Especially, we have a dedicated health pro, and her name is Petra. So if you have any questions, now, if you want to find a doctor to go to, you want to save money and find the well-respected doctor, yet the one that charges you the least because you have a high deductible.
Yeah.
You want to pay less for prescriptions. You want to have somebody check over your bill from your doctor because you don't think it's right. These are all benefits that Alight and Petra can help you with. She can help you find a doctor. She can look over your healthcare invoices, and she is there to kind of like be your pro, like make sure that you're doing what's best for you, spending the least amount of money, and getting the best care.
Yeah. Petra, our concierge, will make sure that you are in good hands. It doesn't get much fancier than that.
Right. When you do use this Alight also, if you use it once during the year, you will get another 500 points towards your wellness.
So you're at 50.
You're at $50
You're at 50.
Right there.
So we talked about medical. Let's talk about dental and vision, if you don't mind.
That would be fine. Dental and vision, our carrier is the Guardian. The plans are the same as usual. You get your yearly exams, you get x-rays with your dental, a couple cleanings a year. Those are all preventative, so they're covered.
Okay.
And then anything else, your basic, your major expenses, procedures with dental, there's either an 80-20, 50-50 split. The premium for the dental insurance is going up a little bit this year. And, so you might want to save a little extra money. It's jumping from a whopping $6.92 per payroll all the way up to $7.20 each payroll. So, put your quarters away to.
That's 28 cents extra I'm going to have to put in my FSA.
Yes, unfortunately, yes. Yes. Vision premiums are staying the same. That's $3.30 per payroll, and that is a yearly exam. You can get lenses each year, but frames is every other year. But, there's a benefit that they allow, a maximum benefit. So this is the type of thing. If you know you're going for glasses and you like the fancy ones, this is a way to maybe save money, is put some money in your FSA to help defray the cost for your new glasses.
Yeah. I just went in actually 2 days ago, and there was a large selection of frames that were in our plan that were completely covered. I am so vain. I did pick out a pair that was a little more, but the 130 that went to it supplemented it perfectly. And it was a very small cost to me out of pocket.
Right. Yep. And that's what it's there for.
Okay. So this is all about preventative. We're keeping ourselves healthy. We're staying well. We're getting these checks. Life happens though. It comes at you fast, and you can be down and out, unfortunately, before you know it. Is there any backups in place from Human Technologies just in case, I got to be out for a while?
Yeah. And unfortunately, New York State statutory disability does not provide a lot of income reimbursement to you while you're recuperating from your accident, your illness, whatever. The state maximum is $170 a week.
Okay.
Human Technologies at this point in time has an enhanced policy with the Guardian that we will reimburse our employees up to $300 a week. Even still, that's not a lot of money to pay your bills, and the stress because you're home, you're recuperating, you still have to meet your expenses. Human Technologies does offer a short-term voluntary disability policy, a supplemental disability, if you will. And that would provide you 40% of your income up to $1,000 a week. There is a premium involved. So you would, it's almost like buying a policy.
Sure.
This would be additional income to help you kind of maintain your family income or whatever while you do recover. The enhanced policy with that Human Technologies offers right now of $300, that is in negotiations at the moment. That might go away. Okay. So this short-term disability policy that we offer that you can purchase, it might be something to think about. Yeah,
it's a nice safety net. Again, no one plans on getting injured or being ill, but life comes at you.
Right, it does.
Fast.
It does.
November, we call it Open Enrollment Month. Why and what should we be doing throughout November? Again, you mentioned on the 16th, the screening. So how would you close out to our listeners? What should we be doing throughout November for Open Enrollment Month?
Okay. So this November 1st opened up the opportunity for you to log on to UMR and take your clinical health risk assessment survey. November 1st also started that you could schedule your biometric screening. And November 1st also opened up the time that you can go onto Kronos and make your selections for your 2023 benefits. Okay. You can do this throughout the month, but the deadline is by November 30th. All these need to be completed. Once again, the sooner you do it, then it's off your mind. It's one less task you have to do. Yep. But so this month right here, it's like you should be thinking about what you're going to do for 2023 and make sure that you make your selections so that we can get everything set up for you before January 1st.
Beautiful. And I will put the link to all three of those, the UMR, Kronos, and My Health Quest.
My Quest for Health.
My Quest for Health. So that's a good thing that I put all the links in there so we don't have that confusion. So that all those links will be in the show notes. So all you have to do is click on them. It'll follow you right through. Chris is at our home office here in Utica. You call the main number, ask for Chris Saporito, and she'd be able to kind of further answer any of those questions that you may have and get you going. But again, November is the month to start getting all this in. As Chris mentioned, if you do need coaching on those 4 benchmarks, get it done now so you can start your year with the savings. Right. And the whole goal is, it always is, Human Technologies truly cares about their employees and their health. And this is just one more way that we're doing this by putting all these things in place for us, Absolutely. For all of us.
And if anybody ever has any questions or they need help negotiate or navigating any of these sites, please just give me a call. I'm more than willing to take the time and sit, and we can go through it together.
Beautiful. And so this podcast will live out there. It's nice. You can stop, play, fast forward, rewind, go back. Did I understand it? Did I not? So this lives for the rest of the year, even through into 2023, right? For new employees kind of signing up. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Aside from the open enrollment month.
Correct.
Benefits. Yeah. So everything else will live as record throughout to 2023. So Chris, I thank you, very much. This has been a pleasure. And again, I think this is taking something scary and foreign to most people. What are my premiums, numbers? What do I do? And it really simplified it in a nice way. So I appreciate you being here today and doing this. And hopefully this makes a lot of these decisions easier for all our employees. So thank you very much.
Thank you.